everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will be doing a bullet journal setup for 2020. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like and subscribe, and if you're new, then welcome. So whenever I start a new bullet journal, I always make sure to keep my beginning spreads as kind of neutral as possible in color. So this year I decided to stick with a grey and black palette, because I feel like it just suits the beginning of a year, and I save my colors for my spreads. And also I did not show my key and my cover page because I did not want to give out my number, and I haven't really figured out how to blur out my number from the shot. So you'll just have to see my key and my cover page at the end of the video. But anyway, this is just my kind of introductory page, and it just says Hello 2020, and I used a Tombow dual brush pen for the hello, and for the 2020 I used the other side of the dual brush pen, and then for the little grey decorations I used a Crayola super tip marker. And you'll also see after this I outlined the 2020 because I kind of wanted to give it like a 3D box sort of effect. And also I forgot to mention, a lot of this setup is actually inspired by Amanda Rachel Lee. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description, although if you're watching my videos you probably know who she is because she is like the bullet journal queen. But here we have my grid spacing page and also a quote, because I like to start off my year with a quote. And this year's quote is "New decade, new things, new memories." And for anyone who is new to starting a bullet journal, the grid spacing page is basically just a page with a whole bunch of numbers and lines to help you sort of figure out your spacing when you're doing spreads. So I find this really helpful because when I'm making my weekly spreads or my monthly spreads, it's useful to have a guide there so I know how many spaces or how many grids to use. If you really want to have a grid spacing tutorial, then I would also suggest looking at some other bullet journal channels. I don't know if Amanda Rachel Lee has one, but I'm sure there are others who have made some, and they have really good helpful tutorials because mine is not very well set out, to be honest. And also the bullet journal that you use will have different spacing, so you should try and look at one that is suited for your exact type of bullet journal. And I forgot to mention that the bullet journal that I am using is the Flying Tiger bullet journal, so I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to get one for yourself. They're really affordable. I'm pretty sure I paid about €7 for this bullet journal, which is a really good price, especially considering, in my opinion, that it is exactly the same as the Leuchtturm, but the Leuchtturm is about €18, which is about double the price. So really I think it's a great bargain for a bullet journal, especially if you're starting out, because you don't really want to invest in a really high quality one if your bullet journaling skills aren't exactly advanced. And also I apologize for any shots that include my black finger. I recently shut it in the door and I can't really do anything about it. I mean, I could have worn fake nails for this video, but I was too lazy, so I'm sorry about that, but you're just gonna have to try and ignore my ugly nail. So the next page is just a yearly overview, and I find this really helpful because if I'm looking for a specific date during the year and wondering what day of the week it is, I can just look back at this spread. And it's also very useful so I can fill in people's birthdays and make sure that I don't forget them. this spread, the 3 pens that I used were my grey Crayola Super Tip, like I used earlier, my Pentel Fude Touch brush pen, which is a really nice small brush pen versus the Tombow dual brush pen, and then I also used a Sakura Pigma Micron in the size 5. And here I am going in with my Tombow dual brush pen to do a thick line across each month to fill in the days of the week. And the days of the week I used a gel pen, and the gel pen that I used was the Jelly Roll in the size 10. next two spreads are a goal planner and an ideas page. So for my goal planner, I'll write down the goal and then write how I'm going to achieve that goal. So it kind of gives me a way to work towards what I want to achieve. And then for my ideas, I have spread ideas as well as YouTube ideas.
Missing someone, love with all your heart. Missing someone, love with.
So my next two spreads are songs to learn and places I visited. So for songs to learn, I have two categories. One is informal, so that's just in my free time, and then CAS, which is songs that I want to learn for creativity, action and service. And then for places I visited, I followed a similar kind of format to Amanda Rachel Lee's, like a sticky note format. So for each place that I visited, I'll fill it into one of the sticky notes and then basically give details on what the trip was about, where I went, and my favorite memory from that trip.
And you did right from the start. Missing someone is as normal. Missing someone and missing someone is as normal. Missing someone. Missing someone, I am sad and so I am sad and so
So we have reached the end of my bullet journal setup for 2020. Here is a little flip through of everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that maybe gave you inspiration for your bullet journal if you haven't set up your bullet journal for 2020 yet. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!